What is promissory restitution? Promissory restitution is another substitute for consideration in contracts. It unfolds a little differently from promissory estoppel, our other alternative to consideration. As a quick reminder, contracts at law require consideration, which means both parties expect to get something in exchange from a set of promises, in order for those promises to be enforceable as a matter of law. But there are exceptions to the general rule. One is promissory estoppel, also known as detrimental reliance on a promise, where a promisee reasonably and detrimentally relies on a gratuitous or gift promise. Another exception to the requirement of consideration, another substitute for consideration, is promissory restitution. Restitution is a broad concept in law that generally focuses on a defendant's ill-gotten gains. For example, if a person passes out on the street and a medical professional renders aid which saves that person's life, the person who passed out received a benefit for which he or she did not pay. The medical professional might seek an action in restitution to recover the value of the services rendered. This doctrine of restitution applies in contract law too. A court may enforce a promise to repay for some unjust enrichment, even if that promise to repay is otherwise gratuitous and therefore unenforceable as a matter of law. Let's look at an example of promissory restitution. Let's say someone finds your lost dog. The finder doesn't know who owns the dog, but he cares for the dog and puts out an ad trying to find the owner of the dog. You find the ad, locate the finder, pick up the dog, and say to the person, "Thank you for finding my dog. I promise to pay you $1,000 for all the care and effort you gave him and to return him to me." Later you have a change of heart and refuse to pay. Well, this is not a contract in law because there's no consideration. You've already gotten the dog back when you made the promise to pay, so you're not getting anything new in return for your promise. You just promised to give a gift. But note, this was not just a simple promise to give a gift to anyone. More specifically, you promised to give a gift to someone who had done something for you in the past. Here, since you received something of value in the past, your statement is different than just a pure gift. You're promising to repay for a benefit you previously received. You are promising to make restitution, to reimburse the finder for your ill-gotten gains. You got the value of your lost dog back, and then you promise to compensate the finder for his efforts. It is this extra element, that the gratuitous promise was made to correct some wrong or restore some loss, that might make your promise binding as a matter of equity. Your promise may be binding to the extent necessary to prevent injustice. In summary, promissory restitution is an equitable alternative to consideration. Where a promise lacks consideration, it may still be enforceable at equity, where the promise is made to correct some mistake or otherwise to redress some unfair gain.